Walking into my husband cheating on me with a woman half my age was the worst. I felt a torrent of emotions: panic, anger, shame, and then heartbreak. I'm going to be alone forever, I repeated to myself as I left the attorney's office with a copy of the divorce papers in hand. How could you do this to me? After all we'd been through, how could he leave me for another woman? As I finally made it home after what seemed like forever, I went into my bathroom and with tears in my eyes, I looked at myself and all my insecurities began to hit me at once. I began saying aloud, "It's because you've gotten fat and you haven't tried hard enough. It's because you've gotten old and boring. It's because you never had any energy and never want to do anything." And I went until I just couldn't take it anymore and I cracked. I began throwing things to the floor and breaking pictures on the wall, and for what seemed like hours, I expressed my hurt and pain and abandonment by being destructive. In the aftermath of all my rage, I woke up the next morning to my bathroom looking as if a crime scene had just taken place, and I looked down and noticed that my hand had been cut pretty severely. I don't know how I hadn't noticed this before. Maybe it was the bottle of wine that made me numb, or maybe my adrenaline, but either way, I made a call to get back in to see my doctor. When my doctor finally came into my waiting room and saw my hand in bandages, he smiled and lightheartedly asked, "Oh, crazy party last night, huh? What did I tell you about those?" And as much as I tried to laugh and hide the pain I was feeling, I couldn't, and I just began to weep. He left me, Dr. Andrews. He left me. And the doctor who I had known since before my first child was born was holding me and patting me on my back and consoling me. "Tanya," he said, "I can't imagine what you must be going through and what you're feeling right now, but the best thing I think you can do for yourself right now is to make a change." Make a change? I asked in irritation. "With all due respect, Dr. Andrews, how is that going to help me feel better?" And for the next 2 hours, I began to pour out my heart and tell Dr. Andrews about all of my insecurities, and I didn't know it, but this was the beginning of my amazing, life-changing journey that led me to the discovery of a new fat-resistant hormone lying dormant in your body right now, unlocked by an ancient Indonesian 30-second morning ritual, which I'm about to reveal in this short video. Known only by the people of a tiny and secluded Indonesian village halfway across the world. You can quickly target this fat-resistant hormone and completely stop your body from storing excess fat, a truth hidden by the major weight loss and diet companies whose entire business relies on you never losing a single pound. And I know what you're thinking, but no, this discovery has nothing to do with ab crunches, fasting, counting calories, dieting, or even gastric bypass surgery. It has nothing to do with crazy workouts or extreme cardio routines like Insanity, CrossFit, or P90X. Instead, it's just this simple, ancient Indonesian 30-second morning ritual. Yeah, we've heard it all before. Some of you might be saying to yourself, but what makes this 30-second morning ritual so unique and special is that I still get to eat all of my favorite foods like chocolate fudge, pepperoni pizza, strawberry cheesecake, and ice cream. In fact, to eat all of these foods is totally recommended. This 100% all-natural and safe 30-second ritual that completely transformed my life and gave me a lean, sexy, and stress-free body is something too important to keep to myself. And until now, that's been the issue. This simple ritual has been right in front of us the whole time and been kept from us by the people we put our trust in to help us. But those days are long gone, because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to let you in on a little secret of why everything you thought you knew about belly fat and how to lose it is just flat out wrong. You're going to be absolutely disgusted when you hear the ex-vice president of a billion-dollar weight loss company expose the industry and reveal the biggest weight loss lies we've been told to believe by doctors and fitness gurus around the world. And the real reason why every diet or exercise plan you've tried may work for a bit, but will always fail. I will reveal to you the identity of the one deadly hormone, the real cause of your uncontrolled belly fat, and the scientifically and clinically proven 30-second morning ritual that you can do right now to tackle this body toxin, which will, while you're sleeping this very night, start burning off stubborn, ugly body fat and immediately start adding support for healthy joints, healthy arteries, and blood sugar levels. Plus, all the peer-reviewed studies and testimonials that prove how this works. The truth is, you and your doctor simply do not know about this simple, all-natural, and unique breakthrough. It's so effective that it's already worked for over 378 people, and this number is steadily rising every day. And in fact, this all began because I stumbled upon this same ritual myself, and a staggering 71 pounds of stubborn body fat, taking me from this to this. And now I can finally fit into those dresses I always dreamed of wearing and actually look good doing it. And just as I can promise the sun will come up tomorrow morning, so too can I promise this will work for you too. Whether you're a man or a woman, 21 or 81 years old, whether you're 20 pounds overweight or 120 pounds overweight, and have been that way for 12 weeks or 12 years, whether you've tried every single diet, exercise, or gym program out there, or simply are worried about future health complications that being overweight brings. Listen, I get it. It sounds so far-fetched and way too good to be true, and I don't expect you to believe what I'm telling you right now. You might be feeling skeptical, and that's okay. But if you're ready to learn the real reason why you haven't been able to lose that stubborn body fat, you've come to the right place. I promise. But listen, it's absolutely critical that you keep watching until the very end while you still have the chance, because I honestly don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep this presentation online. In the US alone, the weight loss industry is worth $80 billion. Yes, that's billion with a B, full of impossible diet plans, shakes, meal deliveries, gym memberships, extreme cardio sessions, and more. And the weight loss industry is panicking because if what I'm about to reveal to you reaches too many people, it could destroy their business model overnight. The very same cash cow that will never help you lose weight and keep it off, but keep you a customer for life. The last thing they want is for you to see what I'm about to share with you. This information could literally save your life, or the life of somebody you know or love. So listen up, because we don't have that much time. In this presentation, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to lose stubborn belly fat effortlessly, to never have to worry about deadly health complications caused by being overweight, to never have to worry about what others think about your size, or what your husband or wife really thinks about your naked body but is too afraid to tell you, to never worry about people judging you or smirking at you, to be completely free of guilt and shame around the eating and what people think of what you're eating. Instead, you can eat when you want absolutely all of your favorite foods guilt-free. You burn pounds of raw body fat like clockwork from your midsection, arms, hips, thighs, waist, and face. You support your new healthy arteries, heart, joints, and bone strength, and melt deadly visceral fat around your organs. You slip into skin-tight, sexy clothing, the kind you could never have dreamed of before. You restore your energy, vitality, elasticity of your skin, and turbo boost your sex drive. And you feel younger, healthier, happier, and more energetic than you have in years, even decades. It's time to free yourself from the prison of belly fat once and for all. Does that sound good to you? So, close the door, get rid of distractions, get out a pad and something to write with, and make sure you stick with this video out until the very end, because I promise you, you will melt away pounds of stubborn fat with nothing more than my bizarre once-a-day 30-second ritual. Yes, it really is that easy. But before we get any further, I want to formally introduce myself. My name is Tanya Harris. I'm a 49-year-old single mother of two. I'm not a doctor or some fitness guru or dietitian. I am a special education teacher from Henderson, Nevada, and above all else, I am somebody just like you. And after my husband left me for a younger woman, I just sort of let myself go, and my health quickly deteriorated, which in turn left me in a very bad way, bad health, and in a terrible place mentally. Needless to say, I was at a very dark place in my life. I was overweight, recently diagnosed as pre-diabetic with high blood pressure and thyroid problems, and I was taking countless medications to help me cope. This story, my story, is one that's been very painful to tell and almost cost me my life, but has now helped thousands of women and men all over the world. This amazing 30-second ritual I discovered that I'm about to share with you within the next 4 minutes is not only one that I use to burn away 71 pounds of pure, disgusting body fat from my hips and thighs to my face, neck, and arms, but it's also helped support a healthy heart, arteries, and blood sugar levels, taking me from complete heartbreak and despair, struggling to get my life and my health under control, to a total body transformation, and going from an overweight pre-diabetic with high blood pressure and thyroid problems to a healthy, confident, and one sexy mama. Now, back to where it all began. After all my tears had dried up, Dr. Andrews gave me some encouragement, and I walked out of his office on a mission. I was going to get fit and sexy and energized and youthful. Not for my scumbag husband or his 20-something-year-old girlfriend, but I was doing this for me. I wanted to make myself better, and I wanted to get my life back. And I wish I could tell you that everything went as planned and I was fit, skinny, sexy, energized, and rode off into the sunset, but that's not how real life works. And I ran into a big problem. Everything I tried wasn't working. I tried everything, and I mean everything, to lose weight and to get slim. I tried everything my doctor and other dietitians recommended. I tried calorie cutting. I tried fasting. I tried smaller portions. I worked out every morning and evening. For breakfast, I ate oats, kale, and eggs. For dinner, chicken, broccoli, and rice. I practically lived off salads for the next year and a half. I tried every single exercise and diet plan you can think of. I even tried diet pills and diet teas. I tried keto, paleo. I literally tried everything that was recommended to me by my doctor and by every other diet fitness expert, but nothing was giving me any results. I began to lose hope because I had nowhere else to turn for answers, and out of desperation, I posted on an online diet and health forum explaining everything that I tried, from the diets to the exercises to the diet pills. And then I was just looking for something, anything that could help me get my weight under control, and at the same time praying that God would help me and answer my prayers. Well, a few days go by and I hear nothing back, and the reality sets in that I'm going to be fat, old, and tired for the rest of my life, when out of nowhere I get a message from somebody with the name Brian467. And the message he sends me says, "Call this number and turn off your computer immediately. Everything you know about losing weight is wrong." Well, I'm thinking to myself, just how incredibly weird that response was. And naturally at this point, I'm very freaked out and I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And I turn off my computer and I go about my day thinking, this could be some creep or serial killer or something. Well, another day goes by and I don't think anything of it, but in the back of my mind, I remember the message from Brian and the number he gave me to call. So naturally, out of curiosity, I dial the number, and as the phone is ringing, I'm thinking to myself, I'm so desperate. What the heck am I even doing? This is totally irrational and insane, when all of a sudden, someone on the other line actually picks up the phone and immediately, without a hello or anything, asks if I'm the one who received a message from Brian467. And I say, yes, actually, I am. And they proceeded to tell me that everything I knew about losing weight in the diet industry was a fraud and a complete lie, and asked if I would meet them for coffee to explain more. And I said yes, not knowing what to think or who I was going to meet, but I had no other options. I had tried everything and nothing worked. So we arranged to meet for coffee on a Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Tuesday rolls around and I show up to the coffee shop. I'm sitting at my table, sipping on my coffee, very on edge, not knowing who I could possibly be meeting, when a man who looked as if he was in some kind of witness protection program with a blue hat pulled all the way down his face and sunglasses on, sits down and asks me if I'm here to meet Brian 467. Yes, I told him, shocked, and then we began to chat. He then asked me, "What do you know about losing weight? What have you been told?" "I don't know," I replied. "Oh, just the basic stuff, I guess. You know, like gaining weight has to do with your metabolism, and that weight has to do with cutting calories and carbohydrates, that gaining weight is genetics, and that gaining weight is part of the aging process, and just stuff like that." I began to see Brian nodding his head with an awkward grin on his face. "Exactly," he said. "That's what they want you to believe. See, my name isn't Brian, and I'm not some online vigilante. I'm actually the ex-vice president of a major weight loss company. You know, the kind that ships you those healthy meals, shakes, and meal plans every month. And the reason I'm even sharing with you all this is because I began to truly see the way the things were being done at my company, and my eyes were open, and I couldn't take it any longer. I began to speak out about the injustice that I was seeing, and I quickly became a problem and was fired. They told me that I better keep my mouth shut, and if I ever spoke out against them, that they would sue me and take everything that I own. So this is why I operate on underground online forums, trying to spread the word as much as possible anonymously, is because I have to, and I'm putting myself in danger right now, even speaking with you. In fact, you must keep what I'm telling you right now to yourself, and you have to swear not to tell anybody, not even your closest friends or family. "You have my word," I told him. He nodded and continued, "Despite what you've been told by the mainstream weight loss industry and TV doctors," he said, "the real cause of your increasing belly and body fat has nothing to do with how much you diet, starve yourself, or deprive yourself of your favorite foods. How much grueling exercise you do, how much sugar or carbohydrates you eat, your thyroid hormones or metabolism, or even genetics or the aging process." And it was because, in his own words, the whole industry was a giant and deliberate fraud, which makes billions every year, not by hoping you lose weight, but by actively making you fatter. "You see," he said, "the moment you feel your belly get a little squishy and your hips getting a bit wobblier, you're encouraged to stop eating so much food, stop eating carbohydrates, and restrict your calories." Sound familiar, right? But the big problem here is that from this moment on, your waist size and health is destined to only get worse, not better. After all, when was the last time you went on a diet and perhaps lost some weight and the weight stayed off forever? It's never happened, right? And then you end up blaming yourself for feeling defeated, and here's where they get you. They want you to believe that it's your fault, that you're broken, and that you need them to lose weight, that you need what they have to offer, and that they are the only solution to your problem. He proceeded to explain that in one of the biggest, most groundbreaking weight loss studies ever conducted, carried out by researchers at the University of Helsinki, that of 2,452 women and 2,227 men, researchers found that among both men and women, irregular eating, such as fasting, counting calories, etc., was a key factor that actually led to weight gain, not weight loss. That's because, like our early ancestors, our bodies prevent weight loss following what they perceive to be a famine. When you diet, your body thinks you're starving and protects itself by holding on to weight. And the more diets you do, you are training your body to hold on to more and more weight. I'm sure you may lose a couple of pounds, but research shows 95% of all diets fail. And in fact, over 66% of people who diet end up putting on more weight within months of starting. Why? Because by dieting, not only are you training your body to hold on to fat, but the root cause of your weight gain has not been addressed. You are still craving food. Worse still, dieting more than once is proven to cause an increased risk of heart disease, osteoporosis, loss of strength, and thinning hair. To really lose weight and keep it off for life, you have to go over the root cause, not just treat the symptoms and live as a slave to your overweight body, he explained, which is something only recently discovered. Scientists are now calling motilin resistance. That's why diet shakes and exercise plans are such a cash cow for the weight loss industry, because you are still trapped in the motilin resistance cycle. Weight loss companies make the most profit by having people completely stuck in the cycle for life, trying fad after fad, diet after diet. It made complete sense, I thought. That's exactly what I have been doing for years. And I also found out that the average American will spend over $111,500 in their attempt to lose weight over their lifetime. And that's just one person. It's a big business, and a business they will fight to protect, because their business model will be destroyed if the world finds out that they can break free and lose weight naturally without their useless diets and exercises. Why don't you go public with this? I asked. This could help millions of people all over the world, I exclaimed. I want to, he said. I just don't know how yet. He then proceeded to tell me that the next bit of info might shock me, but he leaned in and whispered, exercise does not help you lose weight. You see, he explained, when you exercise, inflammation occurs in your body, and inflammation increases your body's production of the stress hormone cortisol. And guess what? Cortisol, just like starvation mode from dieting, tells your body to hold on to fat. This would explain not only your inability to lose weight, as your body is constantly fighting fires inside of you, but it's also why you can actually gain weight from exercising too much because of all the compounding inflammation. Plus, in another groundbreaking study conducted in 2014, it was discovered that found people who exercised actually increased their food intake, crushing their weight loss goals. In conclusion, there's no doubt exercise is healthy, but as a weight loss method, it is not a long-term solution. It is simply treating the symptom of your motilin resistance, your belly fat, rather than addressing the root cause of your hunger. This brings me to my next point. So, can a sluggish metabolism be blamed for weight gain? He asked rhetorically. Believe it or not, overweight people actually have a higher metabolism than those of a healthy weight, and this increases as more weight is added. As somebody gains more weight from storing body fat, the body needs to support that excess mass to carry it around. Imagine you had to live with a 45-pound weight tied around your waist. You would struggle to deal with this for the first few weeks, but over time, you would build up extra muscle, especially in your legs, to help manage it. More muscle equals a higher metabolic rate at rest. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but Brian was absolutely right. So, if you thought that your lack of exercise caused your weight gain, if you thought that you didn't diet enough, or you have a slow metabolism, think again. They had no factor in why you are overweight today. They are not the true cause of motilin resistance. I know this because in just 1 minute, I will reveal to you the real little-known cause of motilin resistance as proven by numerous clinical studies, a dangerous foreign chemical inside every person who struggles with weight loss, as well as the simple 30-minute morning ritual you can do today to target this toxin and stop storing fat. The truth, motilin resistance can be addressed. Your belly fat, arm fat, hip fat, and thigh fat is reversible. It is not a life sentence. You see, as Brian was speaking, I kept wondering if dieting and exercise had done nothing and never would do anything to help my overweight body, then what could? If the top 2 things that doctors and the entire weight loss industry had told us would help did nothing for my belly fat or tackle its root cause, then what would? What he told me next totally shocked me. He told me that this hormone called ghrelin, that had only recently been studied, was the reason for motilin resistance. Ghrelin, also known as the hunger hormone, didn't even exist 50 years ago. Brian then proceeded to pull out a folder of what looked like newspaper clippings and showed me a graph that showed that obesity in America 50 years ago didn't exist on the scale that we see today. Being overweight and obese has only grown to what we see now within the last 50 years. But why, I asked, what does this hormone ghrelin, or whatever it's called, have to do with any of it? Look at it like this, he said. Normally, you have a chemical process in your body called your migrating motor complex, or MMC, responsible for sending messages to your brain, alerting your brain to release motilin, which in turn sends motilin-controlled contractions back to the body to regulate the hunger feeling, or simply put, your appetite. Basically, when your body is functioning properly, you should eat and feel full and satisfied. But when you have too much ghrelin in your body, no matter how full or how much you eat, you still don't feel full. Take a look at this image. I'm sure this cycle sounds familiar, Brian said as he pulled out a sheet from his folder. You eat your food. That's at the top there. Excess energy from food is converted into fat and stored in our fat cells. As fat cells expand, they release the hormone motilin, which I explained earlier, which in turn sends signals to your body to stop eating. It is here when naturally you should stop eating and feel full and satisfied. Put the knife and fork down and maintain a slim, sexy figure. But instead, that's when motilin resistance occurs. As your body is resisting motilin signals because of the dangerous foreign compound of ghrelin, the brain never gets the message you're full. Instead, you continue to feel hungrier and hungrier, even though you are eating more and more. Until in the end, you've eaten that entire cake. You've wolfed down that whole bag of chips. You feel guilty, you feel sick, you feel tired, but you still don't feel entirely full or satisfied. You've gone from feeling hungry to feeling sick and tired. And a short time later, the cycle starts all over again. This is exactly what is happening to you in the same cycle you and any other woman or man struggling with weight loss are in right now. That's a scientific fact. You see, it's not your fault you took just 1, 2, or 3 more slices of pizza, or decide to finish off that tray of cookies. You don't lack willpower. It's all down to your inability to turn off your hunger. But wait a minute, what causes motilin resistance again, I asked. Well, Brian began, we couldn't find a single precise and definitive answer on exactly why it happens in the first place. But as I mentioned earlier, this has started only in the past 50 years. Look at this graph. Overweight people barely existed in the 1950s. He explained that doctors and scientists still don't have a direct answer, but they believe it has something to do with the way our food has become processed within the last 50 years. As our food has become increasingly more and more processed, and as more and more foreign chemicals are added to our food to help keep it fresh, studies have shown that it has caused a major spike in the ghrelin hormone to become active in our bodies, and that is only becoming worse as it is increasing at a rapid rate. A recent report published by the OECD, based in Paris, France, predicts that 75% of all American adults will be obese and motilin resistant by 2020 if things don't change. You may be thinking that it's because we're eating more, right? Well, remember that cycle of motilin resistance? Motilin resistance causes overeating and therefore more fat, not the other way around. So, if my overeating was simply a symptom of motilin resistance, what was the cause, I asked? How do I get rid of this motilin resistance, I asked? And at that exact moment, Brian's phone began to ring, and as soon as he looked down and saw who it was, he told me he had to go, and he frantically began to throw all of his clippings and graphs into his bag and headed for the door. But wait, I still have so much to ask. This is going to change everything, I yelled. I need to know more. How do I contact you? "I'll be in touch," he said, and he handed me a prepaid phone, and he walked out of the door just like that. I was frustrated and confused because I still had so much more that I wanted to know, but at the same time, I felt this new wave of excitement and energy I hadn't felt since I was a little child. I walked out of that coffee shop with my newfound information, determined to find the answers. For weeks, I devoured everything the library had to offer. I read through hundreds of dusty old medical journals. I visited universities, spoke to doctors, endocrinologists, alternative therapists, and even Chinese herb doctors for help. But I found nothing new. Just the same old tired advice of eat less, exercise more, and count calories. Advice that you or any other person struggling with weight loss listening to my story today has heard a million times before. I felt like I'd hit a brick wall, and after weeks of research, I was nowhere. But then something amazing happened. Call it what you want, but I call it an answered prayer from God. As I mentioned before, I'm a special education teacher for Clark County Schools here in Nevada, and every year, all the special ed teachers in our state are given the chance to volunteer on a trip to somewhere in the world lesser developed to sponsor a school and teach for the summer. And this year, the school board had us going to Indonesia. I had never really took the trip in the past when my ex-husband and I were together and when my boys were little, but this year I thought, what the heck, I'll go and enjoy myself. I had no idea at the time that this would be the place where my entire life and health would be changed forever. This place, this little tiny island village in Indonesia with a population of fewer than 10,000 people, is where I learned the ancient 30-second morning ritual. So after a total of 2 layovers and 33 hours of traveling, we finally landed in this tiny Indonesian airport. We were greeted by a group of Indonesian teachers, 23 in total. The leader of them was Surya, Holland, and among her were other women from a tiny remote village called Baduy. As the weeks went on, I began to pick up on something quite unusual. These 7 women, who were all in their mid-50s, didn't have a single ounce of fat on them. They were slim and fit-looking, healthy and full of energy. I mean, they would go all day non-stop type energy. Every day we were together, I would notice they would eat their plate of food, but then never eat again for the rest of the day and not even be tempted. No second portions, no desserts, no snacks, even with the delicious plates of cakes, fried food, and candy bars they had prepared and available for us. Back home, this would have been the total opposite. We love our food and we keep eating and eating even after dinner. Being the curious one that I am, one night I politely pulled Surya to the side and asked her, how do you guys have the willpower to not eat all this delicious food and, for that matter, not even be remotely tempted by it? I told her all about my health condition, my husband leaving me, and that I had tried everything to lose weight and had nowhere else to turn. If you know anything that can help me, please tell me, I pleaded. I've been through so much, please. Surya just smiled, gave me a big hug, and told me she would be right back and to wait here. A couple of minutes had passed, and she returned with what looked like a very old, crumpled up piece of paper. On it was what looked to me like a recipe, complete with a list of exotic plants and herbs, most of which I had no clue how to even pronounce or even heard of. If you don't mind me asking, what is this? I asked her, looking down the list. Exactly what you've been looking for, she said, with a sparkle in her eye and a childlike grin on her face. It's in these ingredients. Our figure, our energy, all of our health is because of this. She pointed to the list and continued, obesity simply doesn't exist on our island. This recipe, which has been handed down in our village from generation to generation, is the secret, she said. Eat these ingredients and you will be made new. And with that, Surya stood up, gave me a big smile and a hug, and got back to work. Only then did it even occur to me that Surya and her teachers had this small leather water pouch containing some kind of liquid mix of plants and herbs that they would take a couple of drops of every morning. I had asked to try it thinking it might have been water or something, but they said it was much more valuable than gold and politely refused. The minute I returned home to the US, I began researching the ingredients from Surya's list. The first one was something called Malabar tamarind. What the heck was that, I wondered? Well, we actually know it as the exotic fruit Garcinia here in the United States. According to research, Garcinia is the only known supplement to naturally suppress appetite, and it also supports healthy cholesterol levels and blood sugar levels. But more importantly, it inhibits the effects of an enzyme known as citrate lyase. This enzyme plays a key role in fat production. When citrate lyase is blocked, fat production also gets slowed down or blocked altogether. Now, it's important you follow what I'm saying here because this is where it gets very interesting. Citrate lyase is found all over the place in almost every single consumer item we buy. Scientists have only just begun to understand how the enzyme became so prominent in our bodies. Get this, it's only within the last 50 years that this particular enzyme came into the picture. And as it entered our bloodstream, it started to disrupt our delicate body functions. And I wasn't sure what that had to do with belly fat until I began to search deeper and struck gold. A groundbreaking new study done in 2018 by a team of doctors and scientists at the Center for Diet and Weight Loss in Tel Aviv, Israel, found that people with higher concentration of the enzyme citrate lyase were more than 9 times more likely to become resistant to motilin, as their food intake was never suppressed, and they quickly put on weight. Simply incredible. But citrate lyase is only one of many foreign compounds disrupting chemicals in our environment. TBT is another, and it is found in paint, pesticides, and vinyl products. And a new March 2019 study published in Frontiers in Endocrinology has directly linked it to motilin resistance too. And what about PFOA, an endocrine disruptor found in Teflon cookware that soaks into your food as you cook? Well, a study published in Molecular and Cellular Endocrinology linked PFOA to motilin resistance as well. In fact, recently, the American Medical Association, the National Institutes of Health, and White House Task Force on Childhood Obesity declared endocrine disrupting chemicals an immediate danger to America's waistlines. Since then, study after study, like those published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, Toxicological Sciences, even Dr. Oz, have linked, without a doubt, endocrine disrupting chemicals to motilin resistance. We now know it's not because of your diet or how much exercise you do, nor your age, nor genetics or metabolism. Your food cravings have been scientifically unstoppable because of the invisible EDCs swimming in your bloodstream right now, causing havoc in every cell of your body. Well, you may be thinking, what if we just moved to another part of the US or even abroad to escape them? But EDCs are everywhere in every country on Earth. They are inescapable. They're in the air we breathe, our fruits, our meats, our cereals. They're even in our tap water. In fact, the USA has one of the highest levels of EDCs in tap water in the world, with over 76 different EDCs detected. Scary, right? Remember this graph? We see obesity and motilin resistance started around the 1950s. Now, look at this graph of EDC exposure over time by a team at Stirling University in Scotland. Look familiar? Notice the rapid incline in 1950 matches exactly when obesity spiraled out of control? The researchers at Stirling University concluded that the level of EDCs in our body directly correlated with how overweight we were, and that EDCs were the real reason for America's obesity epidemic. Finally, it was all making sense. To put it simply, these foreign chemicals are entering your bloodstream and disrupting your brain from detecting motilin contractions, making you crave food more and more, even after a full meal. And guess what? While the level of EDCs in Indonesia was one of the highest in the world, far higher than the US, I discovered to my amazement in the village where Surya and The other teachers lived had one of the lowest levels of obesity in the entire world. Everything she told me about the list of ingredients she gave me was the key. It all made sense now. It explains why Surya and the others, who even though they worked in Indonesia in an extremely toxic environment, never overate and didn't have an ounce of fat on them, and were incredibly healthy and lively. As I finished reading, I began to cry. Not because I was sad, but because for the first time ever, I felt hope that I could actually get my life back together and finally stop blaming myself for being too fat and ugly as the reason my ex-husband left me. Now, at that being said, don't go out and buy a crate of Garcinia just yet. You see, next on Surya's list of craving crushers was Panic's ginseng, which is shown to detoxify the EDC called DEHP, found in nearly all plastics, and it's specifically known to help boost your immune system and increase energy levels. And then there was guarana, that detoxifies the endocrine disruptor ZEA and is also known for its anti-aging properties. And next was grapeseed pyruvate, that cleanses the harmful EDC cadmium found in vegetables, nuts, and cereals. It even supports healthy blood pressure by lowering triglyceride levels, glycerol, and fatty acids found in your blood, plus a whole host of other plants like capsicum, a detoxifying bell pepper known for its ability to help prevent cancer and also improve vision, eleuthero root, full of antioxidants that detoxifies EDCs, supports healthy immune function, cardiovascular health, and emotional well-being, Ervingia gabonensis, which helps fight high cholesterol and diabetes, maca root, overflowing with antioxidants. Maca is a rich source of phytonutrients praised for its ability to rapidly increase libido, energy levels, mood, and greatly reduce the symptoms of PMS and menopause in women. Glycyrrhizin, also known as licorice root or sweet root, a plant abundant in detoxifying properties. It not only helps detoxify harmful chemicals from your body, but also helps with gut health, a very discussed and misunderstood medical topic these days. It also helps with respiratory problems and protects your teeth and skin. In the end, Surya's ancient recipe included 10 all-natural ingredients clinically proven to detoxify the body of EDCs that exist on our planet today, and in turn, addressing our body's resistance to motilin and stopping food cravings, but also preventing harmful fats from being stored, while helping cleanse the kidneys and liver, support a healthy heart, blood sugar levels, skyrocket metabolism, increase libido and energy levels, and support a healthy brain and joints. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Here were completely natural ingredients that had been scientifically proven to target the root cause of belly fat, yet not a single doctor or the weight loss industry had ever told me anything about them. All they wanted to do was keep selling me expensive diet plans, exercise routines, and miracle diet pills. I was now more determined than ever to not only melt my body fat, but to be as healthy as I'd ever been. But then I thought, why stop there? Why not help millions of others too? And then I came across yet another problem. It took me days to source all the ingredients from the recipe list from all over the world, thousands of dollars to buy them, weeks to extract the potent seeds and leaves one by one, then dry them out, grind them down, and measure them into the right required ratio exactly as the recipe had called for to make this liquid gold, as Surya had called it. And by the time I was finished, I was completely exhausted and wasn't sure I even followed the instructions clearly. I understood now why Surya was so protective of this liquid plant mixture and why she kept it under lock and key. This wasn't going to work. I needed to think on my feet. I needed a plan B. But first, before I did anything else, I needed to make sure that what I was doing was actually work. And that's when God showed up, again for me, right on time. As I sat there pondering what to do, a phone began to ring, and it wasn't my cell phone because that was right in front of me and not ringing. And then it clicked. It was the phone that Brian gave me weeks ago. So I ran over to my coat closet to grab it out of the coat pocket from the coat I was wearing that day. I immediately answer the phone and excitedly shout, Brian, you're never going to believe what happened. I found the secret. I explained to Brian everything that happened in my trip to Indonesia and the incredible health and vitality of all the natives there, and the little leather pouch with the liquid blend of herbs and plants. And he tells me we need to have this checked out and verified just to be sure. So he gave me an address to a medical lab about an hour outside of Henderson to meet with a renowned independent doctor and medical researcher all of the big weight loss and diet companies used for product testing. This guy is the best in the business, and he will know if what you say you have is the real deal, and he'll verify all those ingredients on your recipe list from Syria, he explained. So I immediately rush out of the house with my recipe list and the liquid drops I created and started driving. I finally arrived at this big white building with a bunch of reflective glass windows, which looked like some kind of secret government building. And as I pulled up, I saw Brian waiting. I walk over to meet Brian, and he asks me if I brought everything, and I said yes. We were waiting for about 2 minutes when suddenly a man with a lab coat walks out a door on the side of the building and tells us to follow him. So we quickly walk inside and down a long, dark hallway to a huge laboratory filled with all types of scientific and medical equipment. The man we followed inside quickly turned around once we had entered and introduced himself. Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Avery, and Brian tells me you have something that could potentially be revolutionary and help hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Hello, doctor. I'm Tanya Harris. I just want to say thank you for agreeing to meet with us, and yes, I think I've got something very special, but would like to know for certain. I began explaining my story and then proceeded to hand him the recipe list Surya gave me, and he takes it and he tells us to just wait here as he goes back into his office. He directs us towards an old-looking sofa against the wall. About 3 hours go by and Brian and I are still sitting on this couch, and at this point, I'm starting to grow restless and look over to Brian and ask what could be going on. I know Dr. Thomas was very well, and he is very thorough, and right now he's just triple checking himself. Be patient. We'll know soon enough, Brian responded. Not even 3 minutes go by, and out walks Dr. Avery with a giant grin on his face and a gleam in his eye. This is extraordinary, he exclaimed. All of your research is correct. This is going to change lives. You see, Tanya, he continued, when you told me your story earlier, I began to become hopeful because your story really hits home with me. I have a wife around your same age, and she has been struggling with her weight ever since our first child. And with me being a doctor and weight loss expert, it has been so frustrating for me because I felt like if I couldn't help her burn off belly fat, no one could. She's tired of failed diets, and it's really starting to take a toll on her health. I've triple and quadruple checked your research and these ingredients, and it's all correct, Dr. Avery exclaimed. Look, he began, we all know that skinny person that never seems to put on weight. Well, they aren't special. They don't have a secret. They're not just motilin resistant yet. We are all affected by EDCs, endocrine disrupting chemicals, at different rates based on our body type. In fact, women are affected by EDC-induced motilin resistance worse than men. The human body has not evolved to synthesize its own detoxifying nutrients to clear out this new threat, the EDCs. They've only been around for the past 50 years or so. So, based on what I've found and what studies show, the only way to do this is with the incredible plants you've discovered. That's great, I said, but this needs to be shared with the whole world. We need to figure out a way so people like your wife can start using this recipe for themselves. And without a second to think about it, Dr. Thomas responded, I'd love to help. So Dr. Thomas took Surya's recipe of 10 natural ingredients and tested hundreds of different formulas and gauged what happened to motilin resistance. It took 6 months of research, but eventually Dr. Thomas found the perfect combination. Plus, Dr. Thomas had found another 11 amazing nutrients that, when added together with these nutrients, would boost the power of the recipe even further. So you benefit not only from the detoxifiers Garcinia, Panax ginseng, capsicum, guarana, eleuthero root, and 5 more as we've already mentioned, but newly discovered detoxifying ingredients like raspberry ketone, African mango, L-carnitine, tryptophan, chromium, EGCG, plus 4 more that, if taken alone, would have little effect, but when formulated together and consumed once a day, would produce remarkable results. In total, 20 herbal extracts and nutrients made this plant formula twice as powerful as the original recipe consumed by Syrah and her family and friends. Dr. Thomas stated, "This new breakthrough addresses the one true cause of motilin resistance, endocrine-disrupting chemicals. When you correct and target these toxins, you can naturally support your ability to feel full and satisfied after eating, so you will no longer feel hungry and will effortlessly drop pounds of fat. You'll support a healthy heart and blood sugar as your motilin resistance and food consumption is addressed." What's interesting, Dr. Thomas continued, was that when you first gave me the recipe and explained to me that Surya and her fellow natives were taking these ingredients and grinding everything down to make a liquid, I must admit I was a bit puzzled as to why they were doing this and not just making a powder to ingest. Well, I figured out exactly why. While I was testing everything and trying to create the most powerful and potent blend possible, every single combination and test showed that every one of these ingredients, when they were ground up into a powder or taken by themselves, were 60% less potent and as effective as they were in liquid form. That's why diet pills never work. It's because when you break supplements down that way, they lose most of their powerful benefits and nutrients. And this is why you see more and more drug companies designing their medicines to be taken in liquid drops. Capsules are becoming a thing of the past. That tribe in Indonesia already knew this from years and years of testing this blend out, but they don't have the technology like I do to make this blend even better. This is the future. You're going to love this. Are you ready? He asked with a huge smile on his face. Using modern technology and the medical advances we have today, I have figured out a way to keep this ancient recipe in its original liquid form, but now I found out a way to make it much more smooth, more soluble, and much more powerful. As Dr. Thomas finished explaining everything to me, I was so excited because I knew nothing like this had ever been attempted before in the history of weight loss, and I literally couldn't wait to get started. And the best part was, because the proprietary blend is 100% natural, completely non-GMO, and without any additives whatsoever, making it completely safe and tested, and the facility where we produce this liquid blend is FDA registered and GMP certified, we didn't have to wait for approval. We just needed one willing patient to put the protocol to the test. And of course, that patient was me. It took every penny we had to produce a few weeks worth of our liquid drops for me to take once every morning. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit hesitant the first time I tried the liquid drops. I couldn't help but think to myself, I must be crazy for doing this. I was optimistic, but I was also worried at the same time and had to force myself to keep taking them every morning. I prayed this wasn't just another waste of time. After 7 days, I lost about 3 pounds, but I thought nothing of it until later that evening when something remarkable happened. I was having dinner at a friend's house, and she handed me the bowl to grab a second portion of food, a habit I'd gotten used to since I gained all the weight. "No, I'm fine. I'm actually quite full. Thank you, though," I said. "Wait, what?" I thought to myself. I had to stop and think about what I had just said. I hadn't said that in I don't know how long. I looked at her in shock and then burst out laughing. Remember, belly fat is simply a symptom of motilin resistance. Well, since I had tackled my motilin resistance, my cravings literally vanished. and the weight started melting like ice cream on a hot summer day. And the best part is, I still was eating cake, pizza, chocolate, and all my favorite foods. I didn't force myself to stop eating. I wanted to. I was full and satisfied after just a couple of bites of my favorite delicious treats. The way our bodies are naturally meant to function. It was like a gastric band had been fitted, and each day following was like a dream. Every morning my weight dropped. 1 pound, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 1 pound, but the best was yet to come. Day 21 was a Saturday morning, and I'll remember it forever. I decided to casually weigh myself and see how I was doing. Even though I looked lighter and felt the best I had my entire life, a part of me still felt like my old self. I stepped on the scale and screamed, but my scream quickly turned into tears, and soon I had a wave of tears rolling down my face. But this time, they weren't tears of guilt, of shame. They were tears of happiness, of joy. And soon enough, I was 71 pounds lighter. Yes, I know, I'm real. And it still seems that way, but finally, this story, my story, was beginning to change, taking me from this to this. Slim and sexy lady I'm proud to look at in the mirror every day, and I'm actually learning how to love myself. Oh yeah, and by the way, I just so happened to have a new boyfriend too. Every single trace of the unwanted fat caused by my pregnancy years ago and the depression I'd suffered from my husband leaving was finally gone. And every day I was safely shedding pure belly fat, arm fat, chin fat, and my love handles disappeared. I was so excited to see my last pair of jeans I bought falling off my hips in a way they hadn't in 25 years. But not only that, I had so much more energy. I was sleeping better than ever. The arthritis I suffered from writing so much from being a teacher was completely gone, and all of my joints, for that matter, were pain-free. Even greater still is my hairdresser asked what kind of hair treatments I had been using, because even my hair was thicker, fuller, shinier than it ever had been. All my fears of worsening health vanished. When I saw Dr. Andrews again, he couldn't believe his eyes. He was speechless that I had lost all that weight and achieved it all by myself, naturally and safely, and without any stress. That evening, I threw all of my diet food in the trash. What an amazing feeling that was. It was like a time machine taking me back years before this nightmare began. But the most amazing thing was watching my stomach, watching the belly fat I'd been fighting for years and years shrink away to nothing. Then one day I came home after work and decided I'd try on some new sexy lingerie I'd always wanted to buy but was always too embarrassed to. And around the house I went, carefree and quite frankly excited to see how it looked with my new body. I finally walked back to my bedroom and looked at myself in the mirror and knew from that day going forward I was never going back to ugly body fat or depression or heartbreak. As brief as that moment was, it was one of the most amazing moments of my entire life because I knew I had done it. I was never going to be a slave to my body ever again. I had broken free from the cycle of modeling resistance. I was back in control of my own hunger. I could hardly believe it. I was desperate to get the formula out to as many people as possible, but Dr. Thomas warned me that one person wasn't proof that it worked. And he was right. It may have worked for me, but would it work for everyone? I wanted to see if the formula would work on people who were suffering the most with uncontrolled hunger and weight gain. I decided to post ads online and even in local newspapers asking for volunteers who might be willing to put our fat-burning formula to the test. They had to be over 40 years old, overweight, and unable to lose weight no matter their diet or how much they exercise. They had to be tired, fed up, and ready to make a change. After just 10 days, we had 45 people suffering from varying degrees of weight gain to put it to the test. The results were so much more incredible than any of us could ever have imagined. Without exception, and within just a few weeks, all 45 volunteers reported dramatic drops in their hunger and cravings, and in turn, their weight. The average weight loss was 54 pounds. Energy levels soared. Dangerous visceral fat around organs vanished. Brain fog lifted. Aches and pains subsided. Stress disappeared. sex drive returned and rocketed. They supported new healthy hearts, arteries, and blood pressure. Many reported seeing their abs for the very first time in their lives. A total of 96% of participants went on to lose over 59 pounds of fat. The other 4% lost over 45 pounds, but were no less overjoyed at the weight loss and health benefits they'd achieved. I received emails, phone calls, and text messages from people just like you, just like me for that matter, overwhelmed with joy and amazed with the results. People like Danelle, who lost 64 pounds of stubborn belly fat. Danielle said, "I'd given up hope that anything would ever work for me. I was beginning to think that someone like me couldn't be fixed, but then I stumbled upon Tanya and her discovery. I can't thank you enough, Tanya. You saved my life." Or Bethany, who lost 67 pounds and said, "I've been using your formula for 4 months now. This has been a dream come true for not only me, but for my marriage itself. My body has totally transformed. These days, my husband can't keep his hands off of me." Or just look at what Carly, who lost over 68 pounds using this formula, had to say. "I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like magic or something. All my food cravings disappeared, and all the extra baby weight I had carried for so many years was gone, just like that. Now I can finally fit into my favorite dresses again. I'm so thankful." Or even John, who is an actual doctor and lost 51 pounds using this formula, said, "Even with me being a doctor, I still struggled to find anything that could actually help me lose weight. After researching and verifying your ingredients myself, I decided to give your formula a try, and wow, this is incredible. I look and feel 20 years younger. This discovery has changed everything I thought about weight loss." Or Lucille, who lost 74 pounds and has now put her type 2 diabetes successfully in remission. Or Rebecca, who lost 68 pounds and persuaded her husband to try, and he lost 23 pounds in 12 days. Unbelievable. Or Mike, who lost over 100 pounds, yes, 100, said, "I'm so grateful I found Tanya and all this natural formula. I honestly thought I'd never enjoy my life ever again because of my weight. I was in such a dark place and had nowhere to turn. I found Tanya and heard her story and was hopeful. Let me tell you, her discovery has literally changed my life. I have more energy, better health, and just more all-around joy for life that I would have never experienced without this. Thank you." Or Brandon, who lost over 64 pounds and became a fitness trainer. Or Sonia, who lost 52 pounds, said, "I've been a cook for almost 20 years and rarely did I ever get to enjoy my creations because I was afraid of the weight I would put on. Now I'm actually eating more than I ever had and have managed to lose over 50 pounds. Simply amazing." And the list of lives and bodies transformed of individuals just like you who gave this formula a shot and never looked back goes on and on. This is it. We've done it. We developed a natural, clinically proven treatment for addressing even the worst cases of uncontrolled belly fat. After seeing the effect that insatiable cravings and weight gain had on my own life, I've made it my mission to ensure that no one else ever has to suffer like I did. This protocol works, and I'm excited to say that the obscene statistics about our weight are due to change forever. Remember, due to the toxic environment we now live in and the overly processed food we now eat, our cells are being relentlessly attacked by endocrine-disrupting chemicals on a daily basis. This happens no matter where you live on Earth. It is unavoidable. As a result, they predict that nearly 75% of all American adults will be overweight by 2020. Today, things are finally about to change. With the help of Brian and Dr. Thomas Avery, we've created a clinically proven and 100% all-natural formula that will allow you to finally melt your belly fat and take back control over your hunger and cravings with no medications, no exercises, no dieting, and you can start today. And we've called it Biotox Gold, the one and only all-natural proprietary blend that targets the true cause of your belly fat, motilin resistance, the very first 100% all-natural liquid drop weight loss supplement in the world. We've sourced all the purest, highest quality, 20 natural detoxifying nutrients and plant extracts that we've spoken about today and put the exact quantities into bottles with small and easy liquid drops you take every morning. Every bottle is manufactured here in the USA in our FDA-approved and GMP Good Manufacturing Practice certified facility under the most sterile, strict, and precise standards. These liquid drops are non-GMO with absolutely no additives whatsoever, 100% all natural, tested and safe. There are no dangerous stimulants or toxins, and they are not habit-forming or tolerance-forming. Losing weight with Biotox Gold is so simple. Literally anyone can do it. Yet it is more powerful and more effective than any diet or exercise on the planet. This formula is not only incredible for your weight, but helps support a healthy heart, brain, and joints, boosts energy levels, and much more. So you'll also be improving your overall health at the same time. And the best part is, there's no need to completely change your diet or starve yourself. Here it is, the solution you've always been searching for, ready for you to finally get the flat belly and slim body you've been dreaming of and which you deserve. 204,378 people have already transformed their weight size, energy, and lives with Biotox Gold. Take it now and achieve the same dramatic improvements in your hunger and weight that we have. It really is that simple. And you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. So, if you're ready for something big, something new, something exciting, then it starts right here by you taking a stand and saying, yes, I'm ready for the change that Biotox Gold can bring into my life. You need to ask yourself this: how much is it worth to you to have your friends jealous of the amazing changes you've made to your body, begging you for your secrets? How much is it worth to never feel like you have to deprive yourself of your favorite foods or to burden your family with worry about your health, to be back in full control over your hunger? Imagine that for a second. Take 10 seconds and basically really let yourself feel what that would be like. And then tell me, how much would that be worth? 50,000? 10,000? 5,000? Some would even say something like that is priceless, but there's one undeniable fact I've learned again and again, that even when you want something so much and know it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, as a man or woman who spent so much of your life giving and giving to others, sometimes it feels impossible to be selfish and give yourself what you so desperately need, which is why I'm going to do something kind of risky here, and honestly, completely unadvised, but as a special education teacher, I've always felt compelled to help others whenever and wherever I can, and that's what got me into teaching in the first place. And although Dr. Thomas recommended I sell a 30-day supply of Biotox Gold for $997, and Brian even suggested $597, and although it's already helped over 204,378 men and women who would happily pay triple that amount after seeing the results for themselves, this isn't about the money for me. I'm not some gimmicky salesperson looking to get rich. I know what it feels like to look in the mirror and not like what you see. I know the hurt and pain and helplessness of feeling rejected by someone you love. I know the fear of potentially not being there for your loved ones in the future because of bad health. I feel so honored and blessed to have found this amazing formula, and now I want to share it with you. So I'm not going to ask for $597 or even half of that, because the truth is, I'd give it to you for free if I could, but all I'm trying to do here is cover my cost and keep this website running for as long as I can, so as many people as possible can benefit. The last thing I want is for the price to be a factor in your decision. So even though I will soon have to charge $129 for a bottle of Biotox Gold, and for most of our customers we've heard from, we saw that $129 bottle replaces over $400 a month in food you won't be eating anymore and or medication you may not have to take. You are here watching this presentation to the very end, and listen, I know it was probably longer than you'd hoped, but I needed enough time to tell my story, which I really do appreciate, because by staying the entire time, you're showing me your trust and that you want the absolute best for yourself and to live the healthiest life possible. So, for today only, you can get a 40-day supply of Biotox Gold for a simple one-time fee of just $79. Yes, just $79. But before you order, as you've seen in the studies today, Dr. Thomas and others who have researched these natural ingredients recommend you take Biotox Gold for at least 90 days to ensure you reach your desired weight. This is because if you are over the age of 40 and more than 10 pounds overweight, you have a higher concentration of toxic forming chemicals and thus taking more time to completely rid your body of them and get it back to a state where it can fully break down the ingredients properly. The Biotox formula needs enough time to work throughout your entire body to get you back into balance and capable of losing weight. So, to guarantee life-changing results, we're going to do something we've never done and let you order 3 bottles or 6 bottles at once for a huge savings. And if you do that in the next 30 minutes, just to show how much we appreciate you helping us keep this site going so others can be blessed by it, you'll also get 2 free special bonus items, which is the final piece of the puzzle. Introducing Colon Clean. Why detoxify your body and not detoxify the overlooked organ that is responsible for your nutrient absorption, energy levels, concentration, and restroom regularity? I couldn't let you order without having every tool you need to feel great and healthy, and that includes your ability to absorb all the special Biotox nutrients. With this once-a-day oral supplement containing a proprietary blend of 10 100% natural ingredients designed to support a healthy colon, such as psyllium husks, bentonite clay, alfalfa leaf, and gentian, you will ensure your colon is detoxed, clean, healthy, and functional, allowing your body to increase absorption of all the amazing nutrients of Biotox Gold, as well as boosting energy, concentration, and of course, giving you regular and healthy restroom breaks. Call it my special supercharger for your weight loss. As a matter of fact, our volunteers who took Colon Clean together with Biotox Gold lost weight quicker and at a much more consistent pace. And I'm giving it to you absolutely free. So here's the deal. Buy 3 bottles of Biotox Gold right now and get a 30-day supply of our specialized and incredibly potent Colon Clean worth $129 for absolutely free. Better still, and this one gets me excited, buy 6 bottles of Biotox Gold now and we'll gift you a free 30-day supply of Biotox Colon Clean and, wait for it, a free 30-day supply of Biotox Complete to go along with it. Biotox Complete is a complete multivitamin with every essential nutrient your body needs for optimum health, like vitamin A, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B5, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, as well as biotin, iron, zinc, calcium, magnesium, and 5 other essential nutrients. But Biotox Complete is no ordinary multivitamin, and what makes this multivitamin so special is the fact that it's also loaded with a special blend of all natural antioxidants for daily detoxing of your entire body, which is absolutely crucial nowadays with all the processed foods we eat and chemicals we come in contact with. But we didn't stop there. So not only is this a complete multivitamin, but it completely helps detoxify your body with powerful antioxidants, and it was also specifically created with a power-packed energy blend designed to dramatically boost energy levels and stamina with all natural ingredients like green tea extract, hawthorn berries, cinnamon bark, bilberry fruit, grapeseed extract, black currant fruit extract, and pomegranate. Biotox Complete is unlike anything else on the market. You normally would have to buy 3 different supplements to get all of these benefits, but Biotox Complete is the total trifecta. And the best part is, this deal would normally be over $300, but I'm giving it to you absolutely free when you buy 6 bottles of Biotox Gold right now. That's an insane deal, but I'm not done just yet. It is of the utmost importance that you are completely and totally satisfied with your order. So we are even going to ship every order made today, plus the free bonus tube completely free of charge. That's how confident we are that you will love the results that Biotox Gold has in store for you. Sound good to you? Look below now and get started. You owe it to yourself and your loved ones to do the right thing, so choose your package below immediately. Once you place your order, you'll be taken to a page that looks like this. It's very easy from here. Just fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. Once you fill in your information and confirm your order, your bottle of Biotox Gold will be shipped out for free to your door. And if you make the right decision by ordering a 3 or 6 month package, we'll send you your free bottles of Colon Clean and Biotox Complete with your order too. And yes, your order today is a one-time payment with no subscriptions or hidden charges. We dislike those just as much as you do. Act now. This amazing, life-changing deal might not be around next week. Click below to select your package. Biotox Gold is completely exclusive and is the only found here on this website. It is not available for purchase anywhere else on the internet, and it's not found in stores. This is your one and only chance to get your hands on this exclusive and specialized formula. And I must warn you, bottles of Biotox Gold are selling very, very fast, and I'd like you to get yours today while stocks last. You're still here, which means your personal bottles are reserved. But if you close this page, you will lose your reserved stock, and this opportunity may be gone forever. I hate to say this, but the clock is ticking. You don't want to go through what I went through. Why would you risk it when the solution is right at your fingertips? Make your choice below right now. And if you're a little skeptical that this can work for you, I completely understand. After all, you've been lied to and manipulated your entire life into believing that diet and exercise are your only choice to target belly fat and lose weight. Because of course, the $80 billion weight loss industry will never tell you that there's a quick, easy, and natural way to burn it off and curb hunger. So here's what I'm going to do. To prove to you that this formula works and you have absolutely nothing to worry about, I'm going to give you a 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee. So here's the deal. If you don't experience a dramatic improvement in your weight, if you don't see the fat melt off you day by day, if you are not overflowing with energy and enthusiasm, as your motilin resistance is targeted and hunger is banished more than any gastric band will ever do, or even if you change your mind for any reason at all, even if you use up the entire bottle, and if you still want to get your money back, it won't be an issue. All you need to do is contact us within 60 days and we will refund you the purchase price right away. That's right, we're giving you a full 2 months to decide. 2 months to test drive this miracle formula. All you have to do to claim your discount and take advantage of this amazing deal is choose your package below right now before it's too late. We'll cover 100% of the shipping cost to ship Biotox Gold immediately to your doorstep. And if you made the smart decision to get the heavily discounted 3 or 6 month packages, we'll ship your free bottles of Colon Clean and Biotox Complete right along with it. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure one-time simple fee. Biotox Gold is only available for purchase on this page, so choose below right now and then see for yourself how easy getting a taut, firm, flat belly and watching the pounds fall off your body can actually be. How easy it is to target motilin resistance, to take back control over your hunger and feel electric with a newfound energy. And remember, your order is 100% protected by my 60-day money-back guarantee. Okay, it's time to take action. You might not know it, but you're at an important crossroads in your life right now, and you really just have 2 options, leading to 2 very different lives. One, a lifetime of energy and hope and passion for life, where you love your body and are amazed every time you look in the mirror, where you are no longer shackled to diets, to exercise programs, to fear of further complications. Or the other, well, the other is just a continuation of the life you have now. So listen closely as I tell you what your 2 options are so you can make the right choice for you. Option number 1, you can choose to do exactly what the mainstream healthcare system wants you to do and carry on dieting, exercising, and maybe losing some weight, but having it all come back on and more. Remember, by doing this, you'll never be free to eat what you want. You'll never escape the cycle of dieting and exercise, which was never designed to keep weight loss off for life. It was designed to keep you trapped in the yo-yo effect until the day you die. That's the way the weight loss industry system works. It locks you into a lifetime of meal plans and expensive fads. I think you already know what will happen if you do take this option because you've felt it so many times before. That feeling of hopelessness, of being trapped in your body. of feeling yourself getting heavier and more exhausted and more fed up with your struggle, with your weight, and with your body every single day, wondering why it's so hard for you to get in shape and stay in shape, or feeling guilty because you aren't spending hours and hours at the gym every week, pedaling as fast as you can, but not getting anywhere at all. I know you don't want that. And remember, the average American will spend $111,500 in their attempt to lose weight over their lifetime. That's the financial cost of doing nothing. The human cost is far greater. Is that really a risk you want to take to save a few dollars? Truth is, I know you are sick of seeing your ugly belly fat staring at you every time you look in the mirror, or pretending it doesn't bother you and that you're okay with the body you have right now. Of yearning to know what it's like to have power and control and energy like you did when you were a kid. Which is why I want you to take a second here to seriously consider taking option number 2. And let's face it, it's the only option you have. Investing in a one-time payment in Biotox Gold today so you can put my formula to the test, completely risk-free for a full 60 days. And just imagine the difference this could make to your life. No more fear over worsening health. No more feeling guilt or shame over another failed diet or exercise plan. No more worrying about what you eat or what others think of what you eat. No more feeling heavy and feeling disgusted how you look in the mirror or what your partner thinks about you. No more counting calories or tracking food. In a lot of ways, it's the easier road because all it takes on your part is deciding you love yourself enough to say yes right now. Simply choose your package below. Enter your payment information on our secure order form right now before life gets in the way and claim your spot in the Biotox family. Remember, every 3 and 6 month package comes with a free 30-day supply of our pioneering colon clean formula and Biotox Complete worth $129 a bottle. And every order comes with 100% free shipping no matter where you live. Order below and experience firsthand everything I've talked about in this video, and quite a few surprises I haven't even mentioned, but I can't wait for you to see. Learn the simple tested method that saved my life from motilin resistance at an early grave. Learn the secret to total hunger control. A flat belly and a fit, healthy body that's been kept from you for so long. And imagine for a moment how that would feel. The feeling you have when the weight is dropping off and you can fit into the jeans you haven't fit into for the past decade. The feeling when your wife or your husband looks at you with lust, with desire again, just as they used to do in the past. Imagine yourself rolling out of bed feeling light and strong for the first time in your life. Your belly will be flat and your joints will feel as if they've been freshly lubricated. You'll look and feel younger than ever before, and you'll find yourself moving with the vigor and the strength of a person half your age. You will support a healthy heart and arteries, and your sex drive will return as your hormones come back into balance, which will mean you are able to spend quality time with your children and watch your grandchild grow up and get married and have kids of their own. More than 204,376 Americans have burnt away pounds of stubborn, toxic fat. This is your chance to join them, but time is running out, so make the right decision. Make the only decision you can make, both for yourself and your family. Choose your package below and put Biotox Gold to the test, completely risk-free for a full 60 days, and start enjoying your precious life the way it was meant to be enjoyed. The only place you can purchase Biotox Gold is right here on this page. So click on the order button below, and I'll see you on the other side. Hey, still here? Great. I wanted to take a second to answer some of the most common questions I got about Biotox Gold, because I want to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with your decision to order today. So number 1 is Biotox Gold right for me? I get this question a lot, and the answer is always the same. Do you have stored body fat that you've tried to get rid of in the past but nothing's worked? Because if that's you, then Biotox Gold is absolutely the right choice. As we talked about earlier, the real problem with not being able to lose body fat is that worldwide endocrine-disrupting chemicals are forcing your brain to ignore motilin, the full hormone, and thus you're not feeling full when you're supposed to. Biotox Gold will help you with that. Is Biotox Gold safe? Biotox Gold has been taken by thousands of people with no reported side effects. The only side effect is having to spend money on new tight-fitting sexy clothing or cancel your gym membership. And Biotox Gold is a lot safer than starvation diets or hours of high-intensity cardio at the gym because you're restoring your body's natural motilin and hunger response rather than disrupting it further. Addressing motilin resistance is the single most important thing you can do right now for long-lasting results now and into old age. Biotox Gold is safer than the daily vitamins you take. It has natural ingredients and they're extremely high quality, manufactured at an FDA-inspected, state-of-the-art facility using the latest equipment, and then, on top of that, they're put through additional third-party inspections and quality control so you can rest assured that all of our Biotox products are safe. And, as always, if you currently have a medical condition or are taking other prescription medication, I advise you to show a bottle of this to your doctor before you take it, just to be safe. When should I take Biotox Gold? For best results, take 10 drops of Biotox Gold 3 times a day for optimum energy and weight loss support. Biotox Gold is going to work with your body to naturally adjust you back into a healthy rhythm, and it's going to leave you energized, well-rested, and just overall enjoying life again. What if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me more about the guarantee? I'm confident that Biotox Gold will give you the powerful support you need to target motilin resistance, but I also know that no two people's bodies work the exact same way. So a small number of people might find it doesn't give them all the benefits they were looking for. And that's why every single bottle of Biotox Gold comes with my personal 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're unsatisfied with your results, you can just return what you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. What if I lose weight too fast? This is actually a really interesting question that I get asked sometimes. The results that we've highlighted today are incredible. If you do lose weight too fast, I would suggest taking Biotox Gold every other day rather than every day, and always consult with your doctor. Biotox Gold is an extremely powerful remedy. Even with that in mind, we always want to advise you to lose weight at a healthy, steady pace. Now, I know it can be exciting to see results that you've been waiting for so long that you want to push yourself harder, but it's important to maintain a healthy lifestyle in addition to taking Biotox Gold, and that way you're going to get the best long-term results. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your success story, and I want to thank you for sticking around and hearing about this incredible new tool in your weight loss journey. I hope I've answered any of your remaining questions, and by this time, I hope I've given you the confidence to order your own supply of Biotox Gold today. You can go ahead and do that by just choosing your package below and completing your Biotox Gold order now. Remember, shipping is 100% free. And also, I do want to say I personally recommend our most popular 3 or 6 bottle package for the best value. And those come with 1 or 2 free bonus bottles of our proprietary formula of Colon Clean and Biotox Complete. So just go ahead and click the button below, complete your checkout, and I'll be talking to you soon.